All right, guys, sorry for keeping you waiting. Was just trying to see if more would join, but guess not. So it's just a small group today. So quickly, just like usual, how did everyone go with last week's work? Great. Love the chattiness again. Thank you. Glad you all went well. So from what I saw, all of your action strategies are really good. Your secondary data was a significant improvement from your, say, first assessment to looking at finding data for this one. So that was a massive positive. When we come back, we'll do a little bit around determinants of health and figuring out exactly which ones are the underlying determinants of health or the overarching ones. Some of you guys are just sort of skimming the surface a little bit and just picking what you think is the overarching or the underlying one, but it's probably a little bit more deeper than that. Like for instance, some of you are saying education is the determinant of health that's affecting you, which is causing you stress due to the fact that you have work to do for school and there's a lot of work to do, but is education actually the problem? Like, is the school the problem, or is it the fact that you're not time managing effectively? Is it that you're actually stressed because you're getting pressure from your parents to get good grades? So we just need to dig a little bit deeper to find out what that actual problem is, instead of just going, yep, all right, school's giving me too much work. That's the problem. It's actually, we've got to keep going. What is the real problem that's going, all right, we've got too much work, therefore I'm then stressed. That stress is coming from the fact that I want to make my parents proud and I want to get a good grade, or is it coming from the fact that I have no understanding of what the hell's going on? So it actually is education. So we just have to go through a little bit deeper on some of those, but most of the action plans were really good. Definitely not complain there. This week, what we are moving on to is for lessons 2 and 3. You guys are going to start writing your assessments. So that's your introduction and your discussion. Please don't write any other part of your assessments. You don't have the information fully yet to write those. So just focus on your intro and discussion. Utilize the scaffold that is available to you from week 1. Make sure that you're nailing all of those dot points, and also you will be required to get a second person in the class to look over it. So that class feedback that we've been doing last term, we're carrying it over into this term. So you'll need somebody else to look over it before I will even draft it myself. So make sure that happens. And then for lesson 1 today, we are looking at re-aim again. We're going to use that evaluation tool, and then we're also going to watch a video. So with today's lesson, what you first need to do is this video that is on the eLearn, so that I'm showing you right now, this one here that says Miss Bulgatti's demo video. You need to watch this. So yes, this is from Miss Bulgatti's Year 11 health class. They are currently learning the exact same framework that you guys are, re-aim. So she's gone and created this fantastic resource. And she also has gone on and explained exactly the work that you need to do. So you need to watch that first before you do anything else. Now, what you'll need to complete this video, which she goes through as well to say, is you need 3 worksheets, which are all attached. So worksheet number 1 that she talks about is this evaluation worksheet, which is on there, which you can all access. The next worksheet that she says that you'll need to use is this one. This is the examples that you'll need to utilize. And then the last worksheet that she also asks you to find and use is this one, and this is where you'll write your answers in from today's lesson as well. Now, what you're doing today, which she goes through and explains, but pretty much you're taking the examples there, you're reading those questions off the evaluation sheet for each section, and you're just answering in the box that has the R, the E, A and the I. You're answering and putting information from the example in there. So you're really just reviewing the examples that she has provided. It's pretty simple, but you need to make sure that you watch the video first to understand exactly what's going on. Now, in her video, what she does, she speaks about her 11s assessment, and she says that REAIM can be used in two ways, either to plan for an action strategy or to evaluate one. Now, in our assessment piece, we're doing both. So we're planning, which you've already done, so you did that last week, and then we're also evaluating. We're only using REAIM though to evaluate. So when she says that you can use it for both, yes, you can, but for our assessment piece and our understanding right now, all we're doing is evaluating using that REAIM framework. So we're not actually planning using it. So don't need to do that. Please don't think you need to go back and change your action strategy. You just need to use it to evaluate the action strategy once that's done. So she also speaks through a YouTube video and says that before you start doing the work for today, you need to watch this YouTube video. You would have done that last lesson last week. So last Thursday, you guys would have watched the YouTube video, took some notes. You've already done that. So now this lesson, you're just working through those worksheets for us. Now, lastly, I need to make sure to remind you all that your action strategies that you wrote up last week, you need to make sure that you're implementing them this week. So whether that's the Calm app or listening to podcasts or watching movies or art therapy or whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that you're applying that this week, taking notes still on your mood tracker, because that's what you're going to evaluate using REAIM. So until you have a week's worth of data, you actually can't do the evaluation process using REAIM yet. So there is a little bit of work to do this week. Hopefully it's our last week of online learning, and then I get to have you in front of me and we can ask more questions and go through it a little bit better, and we can actually do some teaching. But in regards to the work today, for this lesson especially, just look on the eLearn, that video that Miss Bugatti has on there has everything that you will need to do. You will even get an example through it. So it's the first one. She goes through and does it with you guys. So you'll have most of your questions will be answered from her on that. If you still have questions after that, please come and email me, or we can figure out another way to work it through with a Zoom or something like that. But she does go through a lot of it, so you won't really need too much help from me, I don't think, for this lesson. And then with your writing of your assessments, in terms of your introduction and your discussion, please utilize the scaffold first. Go there, make sure you're talking to the points that are from the scaffold. Each dot point needs to make sure that it's spoken to. Reminder, we're trying not to just skim onto dot points. We're trying to really state our point and potentially back up where we need to. And then you need to also get another person in this class or my other health class to read over it and give you some peer feedback, which the peer feedback forms are already on eLearn. Now, does anyone have any questions? All right, good. Sounds good. I'm glad you all understand. If you have any questions, just email me. Other than that, enjoy working on health. I will talk to you all later.
Same miss.
Bye, miss.
Okay, thank you, Miss. See you.